You're on the ballot by phone. Attorney, so you don't have a quorum, but we just discussed that, so off we go.
Well, all right, if you'll join us in the pledge.
You'll get them faster. Stop.
I pledge to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
Yes. Do we have an approval of tonight's agenda?
You got lots of.
That'll work. I'm not even going to second it. I would only bring up one point, and that is under old business. Last meeting, we tabled the motion, and I didn't see anything on it. What's the status?
There is no movement and no news from the state.
Okay,
So there's nothing we can do.
I figured.
Yep.
Everybody's had an opportunity to review the minutes. I'm glad you reviewed them. Old business, none. New business, would you like to present the fees?
You know what? I will present the fees. I appreciate that, Mr. President. Thank you very much. This is generally that time of year where we go through, and we don't always do them all at once like this, but this year
You had them already, of course.
we had them ready and nothing's changing. You know, as a staff, we've had multiple meetings about this. We just raised golf fees. Our fees we felt had been high anyway. We have the rate modification policy, which we'll get to next, but there was no reason to raise any of the fees. So that's why we're just bringing everything at once. There's not much to talk about.
Given the general feelings in the economy and people's disposable income, and didn't seem
Didn't seem to
strategic move.
No, it wouldn't be.
You know, and the one thing, and I've asked this before, and I don't know, Lou, you know, many times, I believe we have to bring this back to the board every year, even if we're not raising fees, we just can't let it ride. Or it could be changed, we have to do it, and
At the
so,
very least, the board needs to know that this is our feeling on it, and you have to say, yeah,
even though
we
nothing's
agree.
changing.
Or we don't agree, and we think. we should.
And to review.
Yeah.
Just so we
Yeah,
know.
so you know, and now you've got
And
a packet full of what our fees are gonna be for the 26.
I'll bring them to the next meeting, sure.
There you go.
I thank you for presenting the fees. We will not be voting. Would you like to present the rate modification policy while you're at it?
This policy is something that we put out there because we can't come back to the board in a reasonable amount of time if we're trying to adjust the rates, whether it's the Waterpark or Bellevue, based on weather, usage, any number of things. This gives the staff the ability to, I don't want to call it,
Make a deal.
yeah, it gives us a chance to make a deal. If we need to make a deal to get a big group in, let's say one of the casinos is interested in coming, this gives us the ability to make a deal to get them in.
That's actually how it all started many years
Yeah, it was
ago.
the casinos.
It was the difference between following the right policy and losing $30,000 or $40,000 because we couldn't make a simple
And that's where
deal.
this came from.
I believe we passed it every year.
We passed it every year that I,
remember.
yeah, didn't hear.
Yes, thank you for presenting that.
You're very welcome. Anybody have questions on that? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah.
Our Oak Ridge Prairie Deer Reduction Program.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Dill. Similar to last year, we had a deer reduction program at Oak Ridge Prairie. It's in response to a really large deer population there in the park. The park's about 1,000 acres now, so fairly large. It's got a lot of open space still on the south end of it. You know, as mentioned before, I think Oak Ridge Prairie has about 550 native plant species. I think we've got about 50 plant species that are state listed or on the list as being endangered. So I know specifically there's some orchids and other species that, you know, if there's a lot of deer, you'll see a lot of browse, and in some cases you won't see them. So it's important that we look out for some of that in the park as well. So with that, we were proposing to have a deer reduction, to do a little different this year. We would go ahead and not just have a draw every Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock in the park, starting on November 15th and then ending on December 20th. That would allow basically for probably a little more interaction with the hunters, and then as the season starts through the end of the season, you might have some different people trying or not trying. So I think that would be beneficial. As far as the location, it would be utilizing the whole south end of the park from Colfax all the way to Hendricks. Last year, if you remember, it was from Colfax to approximately the Maryville Griffith line there. This year would extend all the way to Hendricks Street. So you're probably looking at probably about a 500-acre area, maybe 450 acres that would be included in that. So it's easily, as far as for hunting goes, it's pretty easy to patrol that. The boundaries are real easy because the Grand Trunk Railroad tracks on the north end, and you've got major roads on both ends, and then the south end's pretty much all agricultural fields from neighboring private property. So anyways, that's the boundaries of what we'd like to do. Since we can't approve anything today, I think we might have to move this back maybe a month. So that's what we'll probably do then, is come back December, and then because with Lake County being a urban zone and this being an urban zone, I believe that you can't hunt through, I think, February 2nd or 1st. So maybe we could push this back to December and January. I don't think it's a huge deal. I mean, I know ideally for them, they like to be November into December, but you know, we do need to have approval. So maybe we'll move it back then. If the board would approve.
And you're not gonna be changing the deer, they'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna get mad at me.
Right.
They'll be there.
Yeah. So, but that's the basic program there. The only changes, like I said, a little more, much of the park will be able to be hunted, and then also just a weekly draw. So see how that goes.
Just to clarify what Craig said about most of the park can be hunted, it's still a minimal number of hunters.
Correct.
It isn't like in 500 acres, we're gonna have 500 hunters.
Right.
You know,
You're
Now,
talking
the state's incredibly restrictive on the amount of people that they put on this property. Not only that, they're big on the rest period as well.
And
So-
we don't have, this is Oak Ridge.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oak Ridge. This isn't.
You're thinking-
I'm thinking of the other one.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
and it's the waterfall and deer. It's
Yeah,
a little
that's-
different, but-
But and I don't know, in the past, the DNR has hunted Hoosier Prairie and others
Correct.
for the same reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and in
There
fact,
are no natural.
They are
predators.
still restricted.
Oh, yeah.
Very
in
restricted.
fact, Hoosier Prairie was going to be open, I think, this winter again.
Yeah.
Because it's been a couple of years, so.
Without wolves, coyotes, well, there are coyotes there, but it kind of is a problem. Better that than all of a sudden they are all, it becomes overpopulated and they get disease or.
Like last year,
Like
when they were dying
disease
all
and
over.
everything. There needs to be some intervention.
And there was, you know, quite a bit of interest last year, and we've had a whole lot of interest already this fall, people reaching out, so a lot of folks do want to take advantage of it, and so that's not a problem, getting people to come out. And, you know, as far as safety goes, the location selected, like last year, everything went really smoothly. We had good communication with the hunters, and they put the stands in places where there wasn't a lot of public, no public trails nearby, so everything went smoothly, and we would anticipate the same thing for this next year, next season. Thank you.
Thank you. NIPSCO easement agreement.
Well, we have two utility agreements. NIPSCO, they sent their rendition of how they like the easement.
It's in your packet.
Yes.
And I labeled it, okay? Also put your rendition in here, both in here.
We're both in here today. We had a little conference call, Jim and I, with 12 people from NIPSCO. But But anyway, we didn't really resolve anything other than they want me to redline their copy to make it acceptable to us. And then they're gonna circulate it around during the month. We're gonna try to maybe, if everything looks good to us, try to circulate it to the board and get kind of a consensus so that we could avoid waiting to the next meeting. I don't know if that'll happen or not, we'll see. But there were a number of things in their agreement that were just, we couldn't accept.
I like,
And they
I
have
like the rewrite.
yeah, and they have a bureaucracy they gotta deal with. Well, it's gotta be in our format, you know, and I said, well, I don't know why, but okay, we'll do it. I'll do it, and, so I'll be doing that next week, getting it done, getting it out, circulated to everybody. And to NIPSCO too. I don't know, you know, they got a lot of levels probably to pass these things through, so we could get it done by next month's meeting. That'd be great. The other one then is,
We have this whole team of attorneys too,
Well,
that
yeah.
take forever to get things
yeah,
done.
well, it's
I
true.
can't imagine how many they got.
That's true. And this is Jim's time to jump in and embarrass me further. He loves
No,
to-
well,
he loves
you're
to-
gonna, before you go on to Crown Point,
Crown Point's fine. My original rendition, they accepted. They're gonna pay $8,100 to us. They've agreed to everything that we presented to them. They've been very agreeable to work with. So I don't know how we're gonna handle that without a quorum. I mean, we could vote on it, but it would have to be reconsidered at next month's meeting. Yeah, we were hoping to get it through tonight.
so back up to the NIPSCO, they're motivated because they want to get some work done because of changing weather in order to, because this is holding up the project at the fountains. They need power and gas. Lou's concerns about the depth of the gas line, their gas lines and their electrical lines are deeper than anything he suggested, so that's not a concern. We asked about the poles that Lou had brought up. There will be a telephone pole on 231, but that'll be in the state right away, which is in line with all the other poles, because they gotta drop power at some point before they can go underground. And then, so I think that'll be good. They questioned, whether when we build the trail, if we'll be changing grade. We don't see that as ever, we'll just go on top of the stone that's there, add a little bit and go, whenever that happens. So I think, except for some of Lou's other concerns on indemnification and whatnot, it's all readily able to be resolved. But as I said, they're motivated to get this moving, because there's a lot of money at stake for that development. And we know that since we've worked with Matt in the purchase price for a while. He's got a big project going there. So I think it'll be good. And I did ask, I said, so you're gonna drop power, do you have your transformers lined up? Yeah, getting transformer, I said, not to be snarky, but.
Took us a year.
That's exactly what I said, Craig. And they said, no, there's no longer a problem getting transformers. And I thought of you immediately, Sasha, and I kept my mouth quiet and didn't tell them what you're thinking right now. So they said it was a problem it was just a problem. I said, I don't know, it took us a year to get a transformer for a simple little project, and you guys are like, well, we're gonna put the power in, put the transformers in, and off we go.
I don't think they manufacture those transformers in America.
I don't think they do. There's
That's
a
one of
whole
the big
supply
problems,
chain.
yeah.
It's I said, it's my neighbor who's an engineer for NIPSCO, who does a lot of big projects, data centers and substations. He was told the length on, the bigger the transformer, the bigger the problem. So anyway, but I think Lou gets the red light stuff done, it'll move along quickly. And we may, to David's point, maybe we'll schedule a meeting on a couple of issues and get it over with. So we could theoretically just do that and then not have the December meeting, If we accomplish all the business.
That's possible.
So So that's all I wanted to add to what Lou said.
Any other discussion on the two easements?
No,
Did we cover those?
no, we covered.
But there is one you're gonna have to sign in here from the last meeting that did not get signed with Cheryl.
Then, anybody want to talk about the claims? We're not accepting them.
Well, as you can tell, as I said, most of these things are utilities and contractual stuff. And then they passed ordinances and the state board allowed it to just let that stuff get paid.
Well,
We are in 2025 at some point, and you've got to move it forward.
People are funny.
$300,000 for a month is the lowest bill I've seen since last winter.
There's probably three in there, or 75,000. There's a bill to Butler Fairman for design work on the Veteran Memorial Parkway Trail.
Yeah.
The largest utility bill is the Waterpark. And I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, I didn't see anything. It says, I don't think the porting place got in there yet.
No, for the place I just got in,
Yeah,
there's some superior stuff. in there.
So-
Yeah.
and again, if you add up, I didn't add up all the NIPSCO bills, but
That-
utilities, I mean, everybody is huge.
Any other questions? We'll move on to reports. I don't believe we have any committee reports. We'll move on to division
Well,
report.
there's nothing about the budget. Was it approved last time? I thought it was. For the meeting or that after? I wasn't here. It's just what it was.
That's just what it was, yes. It was a done deal.
Okay.
More than that.
Took 8 minutes for the council to approve the second reading.
Okay,
Good.
Yeah.
Boom.
they were ready to be done.
Yeah, not much they
But
could
there,
do.
yeah, there just really wasn't much anybody could do.
I don't think anybody knows what to do.
Did you see the email I sent you?
From
High
Crown Point.
school. Yeah. Crown Point Schools.
But around the state, everybody is, through our park department contact. There's lots of concerns, some people are cutting, some people are rolling back, some are steady. Some have moved forward a little bit. I don't know how. But we'll see.
Okay, go ahead and start.
Jeff, please.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll start up in Hammond and be a little Gibson Woods heavy here too. Let's start off Gibson or Hammond and Gary. But anyways, Gibson Woods, we've started spending down our British Petroleum Fund that we were awarded for that site and also for our Grand Cal ALC. So we'll be utilizing those funds the next 3 years to pay for a seasonal crew, supplies, equipment, and then even some of our own staff time. So looking forward to that. We put our first reimbursement in. So and then also we had a meeting with DNR and also the owners of the Newport property, which is a 150-acre tract that's adjacent to Gibson Woods. So the state of Indiana is the one leading the charge on that. So we're going to see how that goes, but they're definitely willing sellers. And so the state's working from their end to kind of see, I think they're about ready to get an appraisal done. And then, we'll be involved in this throughout the whole process because at some point that could become part of Gibson Woods. So we'll see. And then also our crews continued and finished up the burn breaks at Gibson Woods. So, and then in addition, our equipment operators were nice enough to deliver the skid steer to other sites in the Grand Cal. So other partner sites were able to get their burn breaks complete. So they're all set. Also Oak Ridge Prairie, we had cut our burn breaks there in the last couple days. So I think we're almost done with that as well. So that's good. Deep River, I know they're going to work there to get some burn breaks cut on the former Thomas farm in the northeast side of Deep River. Also, we've planted some trees that we got through NIPSCO, which I mentioned at one of the last meetings. Lake Etta, Deep River, Oak Ridge Prairie has got some trees, and then more will be coming at Gibson Woods, Buckley Homestead, Stony Run, and Lemon Lake. So we'll get those in before the ground freezes. So, and then the last item.
Sure you will.
I'm hoping, yeah. This Monday, the Sunday and the Monday is, but it's not gonna last.
It's not gonna freeze.
Yeah, we're on track though. And then also, tomorrow, ourselves, also the Wetlands Initiative, Audubon, Nature Conservancy, City of Gary, we're gonna be meeting with Representative Frank Mervan, and some of his staff, and we're gonna be touring our Little Camet River Conservation Project. So, we're gonna be starting at the Chase Street, complex between, Clark Road and Grant Street. So we'll be looking at that 800-acre site, and we're probably gonna stop as well at MLK South, which is kind of the east side, right by the Borman Expressway. So anyways, we're gonna show Representative what we're doing there, and at least so he knows exactly what's going on, and we hope that'll lead to a partnership and maybe some help with funding in the future. So we'll see where it goes.
When are you doing that, Craig?
Tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So. Yeah.
I don't know. I was at,
If you
with
want-
them the last time that we did something with Audubon.
Yeah.
And that, I think those are really worthwhile trips.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but you're more than, I think I quoted you, Jim, so you
You
guys.
did. I just couldn't remember what time, and I know we had memories.
Oh, okay. But you guys are more than welcome to come. if you-
Thank you, Craig.
That's all I got for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving right along.
I'll start with Buckley. They had, I think, the perfect fall weekend for Fall Fest, so be out there. Little over 4,300 people came out over the 2 days, so it was a good turnout. Just a huge thanks to the Buckley staff, the rest of the park employees that show up from the park sites. There's over 300 vendors, reenactors, and volunteers that also come out for this event, so we couldn't put it on without them. So thanks to everyone that makes this wonderful festival. The staff at Buckley right now, they're just prepping the buildings for winter, staying with the animals, and then they will host Christmas at Buckley on December 6th. It is in conjunction with the Lowell Winter Fest. They're kind of a stop on that. They'll have Mrs. Claus out for photo ops, and all the buildings will be open. Deep River County Park looks really pretty with all the fall colors out there.
I'll bet.
Right now, I mean, lots of parks do, but I think Deep River just really pops. But staff, all the guests are out there taking pictures and enjoying it. The staff have been busy working. They have done some field renovations on Grinders Field. Turf improvements.
Awesome.
Yes, taking some bluegrass. No, nothing crazy. But they're doing that. They're working with the volunteer, maintaining the trails and clearing invasives out there. Over at the mill and general store, they're starting to decorate because December 5th is our Twas the Night Before Christmas program walkthrough. That is a $10 per person kind of story of the Twas the Night Before Christmas throughout the property. And then that 6th and the 7th, it is the free Christmas at the Mill program. So they're kind of getting everything prepped up for that. The last update at Deep River, another comfort station update. Yes, we've had power for a while, but we're finally getting somewhere with IDEM and the whole well process there. So we have submitted our construction permit now, and we are in our initially complete review stage and our 30-day public comments period. So we're inching closer to actually having a well with water, so that close to 2 years later, after the building is installed, that we might be able to actually open it. So we're getting there. A frustrating project, to say the least.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is this Saturday at Stony Run, 10:30 a.m. is our Veterans Recognition Program held with the Stony Run staff. I think, Jim, you're hosting a speaker. Carol will be our MC.
Kara has guaranteed me that it will not rain till the afternoon,
Wow.
Nice.
because I was gonna get sick if I was gonna get rained on. I get before.
Weather.com.
Maybe before you open the water park, you need to check with Kara about this. Tell her we want good
I don't know
weather.
that we've ever had a Memorial Day and a Veterans Day service there in the same year that were nice weather, both of them. One or the other seems to,
Yes.
you know,
Yep.
rained on us.
This one's looking like it's gonna be the best.
Yeah, well,
But for
But-
those of you that are here, there is a flyer. Otherwise, those listening in, 10:30 a.m. Stony Run. Veterans.
but I believe I said one year when it was really bad, nobody told the soldiers, well, it's a bad day, you don't have to go
You don't
out.
have to go
now."
out, but-
You don't have to go out and fight. So we should be able to go out there in bad weather and we.
Well put.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I'm good unless anyone has any questions.
I'll go ahead and go. Over at Cedar Creek kind of wound down in the last month, so they're done for the year. Staff over there has been working on winterizing the irrigation systems and winterizing all the equipment and everything that they use. And kind of doing some turf work and getting greens and stuff ready for next year. We aerated the greens and working on all of that. Over at Turkey Creek, golfers are still coming out as weather allows and weather permits. There's some crazy golfers. I'm sure there'll be golfers trying to come out Sunday when it's snowing. That's just how it means.
At least 4 or 5 of them.
At least 4 or 5 of them, right? Yeah, we are also working on a project with Golf Now, who does our booking management for the golf courses, to bring online tee times available to be able to book online through the Lake County Parks website. So we hope to have that done in the next couple of months with Golf Now. In the off season was kind of the perfect time to kind of get it done when it was slower and not as many things going on. So that's the golf courses. And then over at the water park, staff has been busy getting everything ready for ice skating, decorating for Christmas, and all of that fun stuff. The rink is all up and ready to go, minus ice. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll start making ice, weather permitting. And then the rink will open the day after Thanksgiving at 12 p.m. And that'll be open every Thursday through Sunday through the end of January.
We don't have the machine running yet, do we?
No, it's not
Okay.
running yet. No.
Now we hope it gets cold for that.
Yeah, it needs to get cold.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so not stay warm to plant trees, but be cold enough for the ice.
Yeah.
No problem.
Well, the machine helps greatly in that, but it also,
If it stays.
you'll see those NIPSCO.
It's a bit of an energy.
It's an energy on it.
If it stays seasonal, we'll be fine.
Yeah, if it stays seasonal, we'll be fine. Usually we'll turn on the ice plane. Usually as the temperature kind of starts dropping below 40. It's kind of when we'll start bringing down the slab, which we bring down to about 14 degrees is what it stays at to make ice. So then that's what the ice will stay at all winter, hopefully.
Thanks for cooling.
Thanks to cooling pipes under the
Sorry,
pond.
somebody had to say.
Yeah, somebody had to say it, right? But over on the IT front, I talked about last month, we had wrapped up the time and attendance program, moving everything into the cloud and moving forward with that. We are going to be replacing 2 time clocks, one at the water park and one over at Belladews. That we've been using for about 8 years, I think, at either facility. They're just kind of at their end of life with working to the cloud and working with all that, the newer technology. So they actually came in today, so I'll be setting up calls to schedule those and get those activated and running. And nobody has any questions, that really.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys, those of you here that are looking at our, but anyway, we're looking pretty good, and at least in 107, and actually, so everything's pretty nice right now.
We probably have our last really huge bill, except for utilities, in 117 will be our last insurance payment, which I think is gonna be done.
Gonna be coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, looking good. Staff still working pretty hard to try to finish out the year and shore up all the winterization that needs to be done. I know that the mechanic staff has been trying to get the new trucks fitted with their plow mounts, and we've got a couple small pieces of equipment that move snow from Prairie, having to get that stuff going. Had some issues there over the last few years, and they're finally getting all that put back together. So people can stop asking me about the Bobcat. It will be functional.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Actually, thank them, but in the Bobcat, we're getting it done. So there's that. The carpentry staff, is everybody's brought up something that they've been a part of, as we've talked, moving the equipment around. And I mean, in one case, they were just daily moving equipment from place to place. So, staff's been pretty busy. As we come into the winter season, there's still plenty for them to do. So there is that. As far as anything else, the only other thing I would report on is that several staff members attended the World Waterpark Symposium, which you're all very aware that we take a big part in that organization. It's our trade group. Many of us over the years have speak for it. Sasha had an engagement this year. This was my last year as chairman, so my last on-stage performance where I could thank everyone and and be gracious to all those that were there with me, all of you. Even Jim, Sasha. I try to do it without a smile on my face, but I can't. I'm not that sincere. But anyway, we had, with all the usual staff members that go, Chris was there, Nicole from the Waterpark, Sasha, Jim is a past chair. You know, we had a new employee there this year, Bella, who is our food and beverage person, and that is a huge challenge. It's a big operation, and she really benefited from it. I think she was shocked at just how much she learned at this symposium this year. You know, we all get a chance to fellowship with those that we've been working with for years, but she was able to look at new items, new technology in the food world, and then best practices, things that she may not have known about. So it was really beneficial, and I got to thank the LHPF for sending us all.
Go ahead,
The Lake Heritage Parks Foundation.
Mr. Ackerman.
Were generous enough to provide scholarships to staff so that staff could attend. You guys, it's not lost on anybody here that our budget really does not allow us to be traveling or do things like that. And so they were gracious enough to provide scholarships to those that applied. And so I felt like it was a great show. It was actually one of the better shows I think we've had in a long time. So it probably is attributable to me being the show. But I'm not going to say that because that would be wrong.
Surely would.
Sure would. So I won't say it. That's right.
May I add?
Oh, please, Jim. I figured you would.
First of all, before, back to World Waterpark, when we were talking about Craig was spending money for whatever he was buying, he said something. What we don't show you, and I gotta figure out how to do this, is a lot of these expenses, particularly for these grants, are reimbursed. So you see the expense, but you don't see the reimbursement, which, you know.
You do,
by
but
the
we
time-
don't always spell it out.
We don't spell it out. By
Yeah.
the time it gets back, it's like, oh, because
It's a while.
it's a while. Even on a lot of land purchases, I'm just gonna pick a number, it's $1 million. Well, usually 800,000 is covered. But we always have to front the money in that expense, which is its own cash flow issue. But we don't probably adequately address how this give and take is. But to the World Water Park, it was Chris's last year as chairman of the board. Deep River, up until next year, was the only park, only that has ever had two chairmen of the board, Chris and myself. Public sector next year, Bob Owens from Waterworld will also be chairman of the board, following, well, Greg Mastrione was an old time one, and then, but anyway, so that shows you that, and I think one of the things that Bella said in this note she wrote to Chris and I, she didn't realize, she was really impressed with our contacts throughout the industry and the way people respect us. Worldwide.
This is not just,
You know,
yeah,
worldwide.
This is worldwide.
So, we've got them fooled. And, you know, but they do know the name of Deep River, and they know Lake County Parks, and they know who we are, whether it's, the UK, Australia,
Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Indonesia, people all over the place who know us. Chris's performance on stage was incredibly professional. He did a great job, exemplary. He even said that he recognized Jim Basal and Sasha Matir.
I did.
We would review his monthly columns and offer suggestions. And he was grateful that we were able to point out to him that his original intuition was always correct.
I did say that, actually.
He did.
And then I had to remind everybody it was a backhanded compliment, and it was okay to laugh.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people know.
well, because they were all fault. But Chris did a great job, and I know what it takes to be chairman. I know what he's gone through as chairman, because his office is right there. And it is an international organization around the world, and there are thousands and thousands of members. And Chris has done a good job of managing his board, and he's only sworn every other hour.
Yeah. And I've got 2 more years left on that board
As
as past chair, which is kind of like, you got to be luxurious after everything else I've had.
And then after that, nobody will know who the hell you are.
And then everybody will forget about me after 2 years. And coming up, next week is the Indiana Parks and Recreation Conference, which is right here in good old Indiana, Muncie to be exact. And we have another glitteriety, I guess. Jim Basala is the glitteriety.
Did you just pick up a word?
No, that's a thing. That's a big shot. Yeah. Jim is president this year for Indiana Parks and Rec. So he will be, I guess, executing that role. I don't know, what's the right term? He won't do it. Just make it sound important. But this will be the,
Executing.
this will be the one and only year for that, right? I mean, it's hard because you go from one that's so big. That's, yeah, you know. Anyway, so staff will be going to Indiana Park and Rec. It's a great show. A lot of our Indiana vendors are there showing us new products, things like that. Quite a bit easier to get to and from and quite a bit cheaper.
Well, and Chris, I know you've been to a number of shows, Julie, not so much, but what's interesting, the difference between WWA and the IPRA is WWA is, let's call it commercial recreation at a level with mechanical stuff, and then you go to IPRA and it's much more traditional parks. And this department and its staff bridged that and so many other professions and, naturalists, the marsh, historical interpretation. We do everything you shouldn't do in business, which is try to be all things to all people.
Yeah, we do a lot of that.
Yeah.
And we try, which presents challenges, and also can be a whole lot of fun because you're never really bored.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's always something different.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Jim. And that really wraps up anything I had to.
Marcia? Okay, all right.
Marshall will be going next week to put the 2 trees, the holiday trees up.
Oh, that's right.
The Convention and Visitors
Bureau.
She's our chief decorator.
Wow.
Good job, buddy.
She loves to do stuff.
You've done a good job.
Because let the duck go vote. Go vote often.
It's early decorations. Tree looks great. You did that? It's all work.
That was just practice.
Good job.
Any other reports? Any other comments? We'll move on to general discussion.
I guess that's me.
Yes, it is.
Would you mind if I go down there instead of bothering?
Oh, no, please do. Right there. Right, got space right next to you.
That- I will do this as fast as I can. I know you'd like to get home. I am making another presentation for you of an album of the Eagles especially. Some of the other birds in the marsh area. I will read the letter that I wrote written to you. Dear sirs and madams, we are very honored to present you with this chronicle of our newly fledged eaglet. On July 11th, 2025, on the Roberts property, known by USC Cedar Lake Marsh. Michael A. Rice and I, Brenda Roberts, have monitored the wildlife of the property for some years. We have observed the eagle's nest, and we are happy to report to you that in 2022, 2 very healthy eaglets were born and fledged here. Now, I think you know that. That's in the other book that I have given you. As you know, we harbor also many great egrets, great blue herons, Caspian terns, sandhill cranes, which I saw just 2 days ago in the marsh. I saw 2 sandhill cranes, although supposedly they were almost decimated in the bird flu. Ospreys, red-tailed hawks, mute swans, as well as healthy deer, beavers, fish, and other animals. Only this year has been a very difficult time for our wildlife. The marsh on the Roberts property is completely drained of water, and neither Michael Rouse or I have ever seen such a complete drought. It's really bad, really bad. There's nothing there. You can walk across it, but I'm not going to do that. Other animals and birds have abandoned our area this summer. Only our eagles have remained in the marsh, depending, of course, on the surrounding area for food and water, which is this Lake and Lake Dale area especially, although they fly very far. We hope you enjoy this new photo album with photos of our eagles and eaglets. We were very fortunate to be observing, wait a minute, I think I missed a paragraph, sorry, I better. In the fall of 2024, we observed our eagles preparing the nest for this season's eaglets. That was October, November, December. We are now happy to confirm that this year was successful. We were more than fortunate to observe the eagles mating. I have photos.
Is that legal?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was taking pictures. How you do it?
Yeah.
I see how they do it. Yeah, so we were more than fortunate to observe the eagles mating in the nest, and on July 11th this year, new eaglet fledged. Of course, I spent a lot of time down there taking photos of the wildlife and marsh and everything. And I was just very fortunate to be there at times when I saw them and could photograph them. Some of the photographs are not the greatest in the world because it was a surprise to me that, for example, on the 11th, the eaglet was going to fledge. Didn't know that, but I saw him and I have it documented. I saw him fledge, and a great coincidence that rewarded us with some photos of the event. I was also very fortunate to observe its visit in August, the eaglet's visit, in the marsh, documenting that it was healthy and alive. See, that was in August. I just happened to be there, and there he came. Photographing is really sometimes just a real fortunate experience.
Walked a lot of times, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, so he was alive and well and flying. He's free. In the year 2023, we believe there's a problem with destruction of the nest. Our friend Rick Walton, I don't know if you're familiar with him, assisted us in screwing a metal wrapping around the tree to prevent any possible future invasions. We thought maybe raccoons and other animals were trying to climb the tree. But now in 2025, and in the year 2024, there was a huge windstorm there and microburst, which destroyed the nest. And we put up this wrapping. It was cold and rainy and it was an awful day. But we wanted to make sure in the future that the nest and the tree could be protected. The nest was completely destroyed in that microburst. So were a few telephone poles and 2 NIPSCO poles right there on the 153rd, broken in half. And so it was really a big thing. And that nest was gone. But now in 2025, we are overjoyed to document the fledging of our new eaglet, which I named, if you don't like it, you can change it, Warrior. I believe this name depicts its strength and determination to fly into the world. The parents, Mom and Dad Eagle, deserve great honor in raising this baby to a strong new eaglet. They were wonderful. They were always around and watching and bringing in food. They're just great. Thank you, our eagles. Thank you for allowing us to photograph and the opportunity to observe our wonderful wildlife. It's really amazing. Now, I'll leave this here, of course, this is yours. There he is going up. And there he is looking at me. I wore it. Of course, it's way down there, so I have to. And some of our eagle pictures that I have here for us. Now I'm sure you're all wondering about the lady. You can't wait for that. I've got these pictures. These pictures in the nest. They say they fly and mate, but these, and you can really see the other beak down there. And I took that with my Coolpix camera.
Was that at sunset?
Yeah. Got it. Take care of yourself. Get well.
I'm gonna make it. But anyway.
They can't see it. That's
That's right. You can't do the picture. Oh, no. No, I know. So anyway, I happen to get them. And then they're not really too bad. You can see the other eagle. Their mommy is down there. And he's pretty rough.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, got some of those pictures. And then we got some pictures where the eaglet is trying to fly. He's jumping up out of the nest, and not every pictures, but I can only get when the lighting is. I think it's going to fledge in that day. And then if you look closely to these pictures, you'll see he's flying out of the nest. Yeah.
I probably should know that. This question, I'm going to. From the picture of the two eagles making love to the picture of the eaglet getting ready to come out, what's the time frame there?
Oh, okay, the time, yeah, okay, I've got that there. They made it, I think it was, I wrote it down.
I'm just curious how long, I mean, because I know you're out there a lot.
No, well, and it's interesting to me to know what the time frame is for them, because they were around the nest for a long time, and I have pictures of them. They made it March 15th.
Okay.
On March 15th, they made it, and the eaglet grew. I've got pictures of that too. It was being fed by usually mommy eagle, and then he fledged on July 11th.
Oh.
So April, May,
That's quick.
June, July.
Yeah.
Well, but he was in the nest for a while after hatching, but I
Well,
don't
yeah.
remember the.
Yeah, he was hatched already.
Sure, you're right.
Probably 30 days later.
Okay. Just curious, I didn't know how. Yeah.
But it takes a long time for it to grow.
Sure. It
And it tries to.
doesn't, it seems less time than I would have thought.
Yeah.
35 for just for your face.
What? Sounds great. Yeah, did they rebuild the nest in the same tree and same location?
The nest in the 2022 year was on, our property.
Right.
Down the hill by the field. Then we think they had some problems with, again, raccoons. And they moved the nest around to 153rd. They moved it, and that was in the year 2023. Then they had the microburst, and they're still there in the, I call it the new nest. The old
like that
nest was by
spot,
the
because
field.
I've seen
It's completely gone.
nests before that fall apart, but then all of a sudden a new nest appears not far away.
Yeah.
Sort of like,
Oh,
they wanted to move to a new house, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Well, Rick and I were in there 2 days after the microburst. The whole nest was just lying on the ground. We looked to see if there were any eaglets or eggs or anything lying there, and we couldn't find anything. And the eagles themselves were also gone, but they came back. They came back then, and I've got pictures where they came back in October and were starting to build up the nest again. And not only that, they're building again. I've got pictures of them bringing in in twigs and they're at the nest. They're there now. I got
As
the
a gift
pictures.
box.
Yeah, the same nest now, what I call the new nest on 153rd. And, yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Excellent.
For me, well,
So
eager.
where is Warrior now? Go up to the door?
What do you think, Craig? I think, all right, one of the kids was on September,
They're like, you gotta go and you're out of here.
on
Where
September.
they go. They don't
You
go.
want to go. I mean,
They wanna move on.
you're born and you're fledging and you're flying for the first time, you're not gonna stick around. I want to see the world. He's out. But I did fine. In August, I found him on the tree out in the marsh. I got pictures of that. And then in September 21st, I saw him flying. It was a very windy day. We're pretty sure that Rick has identified it as our.
And you're sure it's a him?
Yeah.
Okay, I can never tell.
I hate to take him, but the warrior, you know that there were the Amazon women who fought, and
Taking a second.
Alexander, I think it was Alexander, fell in love with Alexander, who was there, and they were warriors too. They used
The
to,
female eagle is bigger than a male.
It's like Kelly.
the female is bigger,
Yeah.
the female. No.
So can Chris. Yeah, so can Chris. Yeah.
I mean, we named the two babies in 22 female names, Brenda, thank you, and that, but we're not sure. They thought because of the feathers around their neck were different, that they, but you don't know for sure.
Yeah. I don't, it's hard to tell.
But anyway, he's out there in the world flying. Oh, so we got those pictures, and then I put in. That's mommy.
Very expensive.
These
Yeah,
must be good lenses you're using to get that.
I have, well, first of all, some of these pictures, like these pictures here, they're on the silo on the pork farm, there on 53rd. They love to be up there, and I get good pictures, but I have a Tamron, telescope lens, and I also have a Cool Pix, which you can even see the moon beautifully if you use it.
And you're doing those handheld?
What?
You're shooting those handheld or on a tripod?
Yes,
Those are good.
Yeah.
use my car as
Well,
a,
I just,
but I carry around, I don't carry around all my equipment.
yeah.
I have to go into the, I'm worried, I have to go into the church and play the instrument.
Very neat.
Yeah, that picture.
Yeah.
But I have some really good pictures, and before the drought came, I got some pictures just of this summer.
Yeah, that was the toughest.
Yeah, I've never seen water so bright.
Over years.
I didn't understand them got hit by bird flu.
They did.
Yeah, I do that.
I read that because I was wondering,
Chris Orange had quite a few.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because Chris is the one that told us all about it.
Joe actually holding one.
Yeah.
but I wanna go down to Jasper, that's where they all collect.
Yeah, yeah.
I would think they're having a shortage of them probably because of bird flu. They haven't been a lot. I don't know if it's been cold enough to move them and that maybe the bird flu has decimated their numbers, so.
Well, not only did I see the two out in the marsh, but the same two were in my field, the north field. And, they were sort of quite far away, but I'm sure that's Fred and Frederica.
We're running out of pictures, Brenda.
The hurricane.
Oh, they've been named now for 2 years. They grow up in my backyard. And do you know those sandhill cranes?
Careful.
Like this. It looks like, I said that to Fred Astaire, the dancing. So that's why I mean Fred. So anyway, yeah, and they always come to my property, those two. They had a baby too, a year ago. I don't know what happened to that. He wasn't there. But, anyway, you may be, you look, some of these, you have to look this, I got an arrow here. He flew out of the nest. And then you see, there he is, there, flying around.
We're gonna have to live with the, must be 18 to look at this book.
Oh,
Yeah.
when they're gonna do it, and then I grabbed from my camera, the lighting might not be so good, it's not so sunny, and.
It's incredible that you got these pictures.
You did a fine job.
Thank you. I love it, I love it, my father. Okay, so I'm leaving, and here I put on a few points on the photo album, so if you look through it. Spotted on August 8th on the Mars, pledges on July 11th. Okay?
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, really quickly, before I quit, I have something else for you that I have to add. I've been contacted by this guy from the Native American Museum. You're smiling, you know that?
No.
Red Hawk? You know
No,
that?
no.
His name is Rich Marianovich. Did you know him?
Yeah, it was a ring a bell.
That's why at my house, Red Hawk. He said he collects Native American artifacts and has some in museums. And wanted to know if he could walk the property looking for Native American artifacts, because I know they were around there, but
Yeah.
I said, I cannot give you that permission. You have to get that from county parks.
Yeah.
Or heritage. I can't let you do that.
Well, county park policy has been for a long time that people are not allowed to collect and remove items with, such as that, or metal
If anything like
detectors
that
or
found,
anything.
it needs to be turned over to.
Yeah, or left. I mean, so the answer,
I'll give you the card or.
yeah, the
Yeah,
answer is no.
Your answer to him was correct.
Oh, yeah.
He needs
No,
to
you
reach
can't
out.
go.
Yeah, he needs to reach out here.
And then from there,
We'll explain things and, yeah.
I'm gonna leave him.
Yeah.
well, it would be.
Well, he's fishing, he knows where people were at the time and he's fishing around trying to
Well,
find a place to.
And it'll go into his private collection.
Yeah,
not be
exactly.
there, because it
And
is
nobody will have a
property for the
benefit.
public. and for
No.
everything. Okay, then.
I don't, I have a whole box of arrowheads that my father collected. In the old days, they'd plow and disc. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But he used to go out and say, oh, look at there, a piece of flint.
Mhm.
He picks up an arrowhead, a whole box of them. I don't know, I would like to keep them because.
Yeah, of course.
But you know that I have them if you ever want them for any reason. Anyway, so the Native Americans were on the property, either just hunting, I don't know if they had.
I gotta believe Cedar Lake area was littered,
Oh, I'm
is littered
sure.
with stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, and there's just stuff everywhere.
Well, the lake before before Europeans came was 10 feet higher than it is today.
Yeah,
So
well, the
like
ice
you-
age.
The lake used to be, in the marsh. The marsh was the shallow end of the lake. So, yeah, so I'm sure it was pretty valuable for all the people who lived around and get onto the fish.
There,
We can
I
talk.
could never.
I shall give you
I have
this.
friends who could go.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get hold of them.
I did talk to him today and I said I would find out, but I said, no, I don't think that's possible. And especially if you're going to put in walkways, I don't think you want people out there digging up artifacts or anything.
No, we do not.
Right, yeah.
Wait, I read in your minutes, I didn't know this. Are you donating the land to the DNR?
No, the DNR is already half titled between, will be between the park board and the state, so.
This is not,
That's on the west half.
yeah, this is not on where you're at.
Yeah.
This
Oh, I
is-
thought you were donating the Robertson
No,
property to.
no, this is the old Hopkinson trail.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
It
was-
is.
And what really is happening is the foundation is donating their portion of that title.
To the park department.
They're turning it over to the park department, and then we're entering into agreements with the DNR who already has half title. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
remember, we have to get.
Yes.
Promise me?
Yes. The last time you said that, we reached out and then you couldn't remember why.
No, Con, you're thinking of things.
No, Craig,
yeah.
Well, I,
back out.
what you wanted,
Write it down.
I talked to him and I thought, oh,
No, you told us that, and then when we reached out to you, you couldn't remember.
didn't we-
Crazy talk. So do me a favor, make a note of what you want.
I know, I knew what you wanted me. Thought, uh-oh,
No, nothing bad. No, everything's fine.
I take care of things very well there.
Yeah.
And I will always monitor the walk doesn't.
I'll talk to Craig and we'll come up with a time. No, we won't forget.
Okay, okay.
Good.
I thought you wanted to.
they want to talk to you about your pictures of eagles.
Inappropriate.
They don't know that. No, you look through that, it's really quite interesting. Some are pretty good and then some are not so good, but it depends upon the light and I can't control that.
Thank you again, Brendan.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
You enjoy it.
We do enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah,
Saturday.
It's raining
we need rain.
Saturday, a third of an inch, right? Is that what they're?
weeks.
Tell me.
Week. Yeah. Okay, my darlings. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I don't need to listen to me.
Do they have, do they have,
This one.
Eagle signs?
Oh, God,
If they don't, yeah.
you gotta say that out
Well, I
loud.
just want to know if they're Eagle signs.
Well, if you look at the picture,
haven't
it is
adjourned yet.
really tough. She's down there and she.
Should you adjourn?
Flowers and something there?